Good afternoon, students and all the people who are interested with mathematics. Welcome to my mathematics series revision. The question is this: are you preparing for exams and want to boost your maths skill? You are in the right place. Are you struggling with maths problems? We will simplify it together. Welcome to today's maths revision, and let's tackle the indices selected questions step by step. Welcome to KCSE Mathematics Revision. The question is got from the examination paper of 1981, paper 1. That's the first question. And the second question is 1982, paper 2, question 8. Paper 1 is question 1981, paper 1 is question 11, as displayed on the slide. The topic from where these questions were taken from is indices, and the indices are also known as exponents, which falls under algebra in the KCSE mathematics syllabus. Here is a step-by-step explanation of each question for a student who might struggle with a topic. A. Before I continue, guys, my format is this. I do the explanations, which should be the ones which are in your mind when you are doing this question. Then finally I display how the question was marked. So let's go with now what is going in your mind when you come across that question. A. Solving the equations involving indices. That is what should come into your mind. So, for 1981, question 11, you are told to find x if 243 raised to x is equal to 27. And this is the first Roman 1. To solve this, we need to express both 243 and 27 as powers of the same base. In this case, base 3. So, 243 is equal to 3 raised to 5, because if you multiply 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, 5 times, you get 243. And similarly, 27 equals 3 cubed, because if you multiply 3 times 3 times 3 3 times, you get 273. Now, rewrite the equation using these powers of 3. So in place of 243, you put 3 raised to 5, and then you raise it to x. This will be equal to 3 cubed, because you have already converted 27 in terms of base 3. Apply the power rule for exponents. The power rule for exponents states as follows. If you raise a number a to m, and then you raise that power to n, your results should be the same as multiplying the indices. That is, you multiply m times n. And therefore, using that rule, 3 raised to 5 in bracket x will be converted to 3 raised to 5x, where because you are multiplying 5 and x, which is equal to 3 cubed. Since the bases are the same, we can equate the exponents. 5x equals 3. Solve for x by dividing both sides by 5. You get x is equal to 3 over 5. Remember, if I use the word exponent, I'm also meaning indices, equating the indices. The second Roman 2 is you are finding y, in this case, if y over 8 raised to y is equal to 512. So similarly, the first thing you do is you express 1 over 8 and 512 as powers of 2, because they are powers of, these are multiples of 2. And therefore, 1 over 8 is equal to 2 raised to negative 3, because 8 equals 2 cubed. So 1 over 8 must be equal to 2 raised to negative 3. All right? Remember the rule of negative indices. 512 equals 2 raised to 9 because 2 multiplied by itself 9 times gives 512. Therefore, to rewrite the equation using these powers of 2, you are going to have 2 raised to negative 3 in brackets raised to y is equal to 2 raised to 9, where 2 raised to negative 2 is 1 over 8, and 2 raised to 9 is 512, as the question suggests. Apply the rule for exponents. 2 will be raised to negative 3 times y, which is negative 3y, is equal to 2 raised to 9. Since the bases are the same, we can equate the exponents, or we can equate the indices. That is negative 3y and 9. To have an equation, negative 3y is equal to 9. So for y, solve for y by dividing both sides by negative 3, and you get your value of y to be negative 3. Next is B, where you are evaluating. B is the other question of 1982. Now we are going to solve it. You are evaluating 27 raised to 2 thirds plus 1 over 81 raised to negative 3 over 4. So the first thing is you evaluate 27 raised to 2 over 3. First, express 27 as a power of 3, and 27 will be equal to 3 cubed if you do the division. Substitute 27 with 3 cubed, and you get 3 cubed raised to 2 over 7. And you apply now the power rule for exponents, where you multiply 3 by 2 thirds, and you get 3 squared, and therefore 27 raised to 2 over 9, 2 over 3 is equal to 9, because 3 squared equals 9. Next, you evaluate 1 over 81 raised to negative 3 over 4. First, express 1 over 81 as a power of 3. And you are going to get 1 over 81 is equal to the same as 1 over 3 raised to 4, because 81 is raised to 4. And now, if you are applying the rules of negative indices, you have now this 1 over 3 raised to 4 equals 3 raised to negative 4. Substitute 1 over 81 with 3 raised to negative 4, and therefore you get 3 raised to negative 4 in place of 1 over 81 raised to negative 3 over 4. And then applying the power rule for exponents, you multiply negative 4 times negative 3 over 4, you get 3 cubed, because negative times negative is positive. And the value gives you for 27 for 3 cubed. So 1 over 81 raised to negative 3 over 4 is 27. Now, combining the results from each part by adding the results, you have 9 plus 27 is equal to 36. Now, let's come to the cancel marking scheme. All right. You have the way the examination council sets up its marking scheme. You have the number of the question and the solutions, and then you have the marks and then the comments. So, in the solutions for 1981, you have Roman 1, where I have explained how you get 3 raised to 5 raised to x is equal to 3 cubed. That is, you make the bases the same. Equate indices, and you get 5x is equal to 3, and x is equal to 3 over 5. There you have 2 marks. 1 mark, method mark for factoring and equating the indices, and then you have the answer mark for accuracy. Roman 2, again, you factor and you get that you are going to have the expressions in base 2. So 2 raised to negative 3y is equal to 2 raised to 9. And if you equate the indices, you get negative 3y is equal to 9. And when you divide, you get y is equal to 9. Finally, for 1982, I don't know why the camera does not have a lot of light. Cube root of 27 squared plus the fourth root of 3 raised to 4 cubed. The cube root of 27 is 3, and then you square. And the fourth root of 3 raised to 4 is 3, is cubed. You get 3 squared is 9. 3 cubed is 27. You add, and you get that is 6. And then you are given the mark for finding the cube root and the fourth root. The other mark, method mark, is simplifying and adding. And finally, the answer, that is 6. So, we won't forget to acknowledge that we got some assistance for the arrangement of, so that the video becomes presentable. We were assisted by ChatGPT, an AI developed by OpenAI. And again, the mark scheme or the marking scheme from the Kenya National Examination Council examiners. Credit to all those colleagues of mine. So guys, may I end the video there and wish you success in your examinations.